The story opens as a woman realizes she's in an automne game. She's been reborn as the stepmother to the villainess. A small blonde girl stands before her, Ati Aurelia. She remembers her sad past life, unable to have kids. This game was her only comfort. Ati timidly asks, "A new mother?" The woman's heart melts. She thinks, "An angel!" She pulls the tiny girl into a massive hug. "That's right, we'll be together forever." But she remembers the game's tragic plot. Ati becomes a villain from neglect, rejected by her father and stepmother. The woman vows this will not happen. "I will never let her become a villainess." She decides to raise Ati with all the love she has. That night, she meets her new husband, the Marquis. He's cold and distant, sitting in his grand study. He tells her plainly, "I didn't marry you for a child." She's confused by his words. For now, she decides to focus on Ati. She finds the little girl in the library. Ati is on a stool, trying to reach a book. The woman helps her down. Ati shyly asks her to read it. As they read, the woman is shocked. This 3-year-old can read. She's a genius. The woman's mind races with excitement. They read for hours until Ati falls asleep. She looks so peaceful, but also so lonely. The woman realizes Ati has no connection with her father. She knows she can't fix this all by herself. Ati needs her father's love too. She decides she must confront the Marquis. She marches to his study, determined. She asks him, "Why don't you interact with Ati?" He coldly says he provides a tutor and nanny. He claims that should be enough. Her expression hardens. She tells him there's not enough. Love. The Marquis flinches, his face filled with pain. He whispers, "I love Ati." The woman knows something deeper is going on. Later, while cleaning, she finds an old book. It shows signs of being read many times. Tucked inside is a crumpled photograph. It's a beautiful woman, holding a baby. She realizes this is Ati's late mother, and Ati looks just like her. It all clicks. He's avoiding Ati because it hurts too much. She goes back to him with the photo. His eyes widen in sorrow. He falls to his knees, his face in his hands. She tells him she understands he loved his wife, that seeing Ati must be painful. She even shares her own pain of losing her twin brother. She knows how it feels to be torn apart. The Marquis cries, grabbing at his clothes, but then the woman's expression changes. Her voice turns sharp and angry. She leans in close, grabbing his collar. That's no reason to leave Ati alone. Her eyes burn with intensity. Did her mother not love her? Do you think she wanted her daughter to be unhappy? He freezes, staring at her. Do you think Ati is happy right now? She tells him there's only one thing he can do. Fulfill what his beloved wife wanted but couldn't. Hold her close, pat her gently, and call her name. The Marquis is speechless, shaken. To drive her point home, she makes a bold move. She tells him she wants him to see her scars. She unties her dress. Her torso is covered in old, deep scars. She tells him they're from a bear she fought to survive. "I'm not ashamed of these," she says with a smile. "They are a part of me." The Marquis stares, his eyes wide with shock. She tells him she will make Ati happy, even if she has to remove him as an obstacle, by force. She looks down at the kneeling man. "Understood?" He gives a small, defeated nod. She smiles, triumphant. Good boy, her work is done. She can make him cry again if needed. She practically skips out of the room. Now she's free to dote on Ati as much as she wants. She peeks into Ati's room. The girl is sound asleep. She gently picks her up, holding her close. She kisses her forehead. "Good night, Ati." After a long day, they finally arrive back at the mansion. They had a great time riding the horse together. The heroine suggests a picnic for their next walk. "We can pack sandwiches and fresh fruits." Ati's eyes sparkle with excitement. The heroine just melts. How can she be so cute? She vows to make the most delicious lunch ever. It hasn't been easy getting close to Ati. There was always a wall between them. But slowly, little by little, she's making progress. Lately, Ati seems to be having a lot more fun. While they're out riding, Ati suddenly sniffs the air. She whispers, "Tafune." The heroine is confused. What is it? Ati just keeps sniffing, lost in the scent. Then it hits the heroine. "Ah, it's the smell of Daphne flowers." She asks Ati if she's ever seen them. Ati shakes her head no. The heroine remembers something. All the picture books Ati likes are about plants. A new idea forms. "Hey Ati, let's go see them for a bit." They walk into the massive mansion gardens. They find the old gardener tending to some plants. The heroine asks him if there are any Daphne flowers here. The gardener smiles. "Yes, of course. This way." He leads them to a beautiful bush covered in flowers. But Ati tilts her head. The flowers are red. She asks, "Red?" She must have thought they would be white. The gardener chuckles. He understands her surprise. The heroine realizes Ati only knew them from books. The gardener says, "To be precise, we have a white one too." He gently turns a flower over. The outside is red, but the inside is pure, brilliant white. Ati's eyes go wide. She's in total shock. The inside is white. She crouches down, her face full of wonder. It's red, but also white. So interesting. She runs from flower to flower, pointing them out. The heroine and gardener watch her, smiling warmly, but a new voice interrupts them. "So this is where you were." A man with sharp eyes and glasses stands behind them. His name is Samuel, Ati's personal tutor. He says he was looking for the heroine. He suggests they go somewhere else to talk. They walk down a long, echoing hallway. We learn he's the man who oversees all of Ati's education. He was there from the very beginning. He stops and turns to face her. His expression is cold. "I'll be blunt," he says. "Please stay away from Lady Ati." The heroine is stunned. His eyes are filled with hostility. He calls her actions troubling. He lists her so-called crimes, insisting on sleeping with Ati, interfering with the maids' work, and taking Ati riding without permission. He claims she's putting the girl in danger. Lady Ati is still young and very delicate. Even a minor injury could have lasting effects. The heroine clenches her fist. "I am Ati's mother now." Samuel just smirks. "Did you get the Marquis's permission?" He starts talking about their methods, how they have all the money and staff they need. Then he looks right at her. "Unlike you, who doesn't come from a wealthy family." He tells her to stop acting so reckless, to not reveal her poor upbringing. The insult hangs in the air between them. He leans in. "I am her tutor. Do not defy me." She wants to scream. He's completely looking down on her, but she forces herself to be calm. She glances out the window at the garden. She sees Ati, still looking at the flowers, a small smile on her face. That's all that matters. She turns back to Samuel, her face a cool mask. She admits their ideas for Ati are different. But if his plans ever threaten Ati's happiness, her voice drops, her eyes turning to ice. "I will show no mercy to anyone who gets in her way." For the first time, Samuel looks startled. He flinches. She immediately breaks into a sweet smile. "Just kidding." The threat, however, landed perfectly. She ends the conversation. "Let Ati rest for the day." She turns and walks away, leaving him frozen in the hall. As she leaves, he lets out an angry "Tisk!" He stares after her, his face twisted in a scowl. He returns to the window, watching her reunite with Ati. A nasty smile spreads across his face. "Laugh while you still can, because I'll make you leave pretty soon." The next day, our heroine is minding her own business when she overhears something that makes her blood run cold. Ati's engagement? She freezes. Why didn't I hear anything about this? A maid confirms it. Today is the day. She's meeting her future fiancé with the Marquis. The maids see her anger and make a quick exit. They leave her completely alone in the hallway. She clenches her teeth. They still don't trust her. She remembers the game she played in her past life. This engagement is with Eric, the main love interest, and he's the man who will break Ati's heart. He's the one who publicly annuls their engagement. She remembers Ati's tragic fate in the story. Her face hardens. This is not a game. After being abandoned, Ati's life goes off the rails. No, she will not let that happen. She takes a determined step forward. She's going to find Ati now, but someone blocks her path. It's Samuel, the tutor, with that slimy smile. He tells her she is not to see Lady Ati. This guy, again, she thinks annoyed. He claims it's an order from the Marquis himself. She sees right through it. That's a lie. The Marquis would have been way more direct. For a second, she thinks about backing down. Maybe it's better not to cause a scene for Ati. She'll just find another way to get to her. But Samuel isn't finished. He decides to get nasty. He calls her the wild horse of the north. Tells her to stop her shameless act. "You're a used-up defective woman." The words hang in the air, sharp and cruel. She tries to ignore it, but then he keeps going. He smirks, accusing her of tricking the Marquis. He brings up her past divorce, her infertility. He says she's just trying to steal the family inheritance. And then he screams it. "What a slut!" That's it. The final straw. A dangerous glint appears in her eye. I tried to stay quiet, but my ears are rotting from your crap. Samuel's cocky smile vanishes. He sees the look on her face and goes pale. She lunges forward and grabs him by the collar. Squeeze! She yanks him close. He lets out a choked gasp. She snarls in his face. The marriage proposal came from the Marquis's side. You can't even do a proper investigation? Doing things half-heartedly can be dangerous, you know. He stammers, completely terrified. She tells him he's the one holding the Marquis back. Then, with a mighty shove, bam! He goes flying, crumbling to the floor. He looks up at her, trembling. She looks down, her eyes cold. Do you think Wild Horse of the North just means tomboy? She tells him he knows nothing about raising a child. Ati's still young. You have to nurture her heart. It's an adult's job to let kids experience new things, to spark their curiosity. But you just cut her off from the whole world. You locked her in a cage and called it protection. You don't have a single drop of emotional education in your head. Her true job is to help Ati grow into a person. She tells him to watch her closely. He'll understand. Until she's independent, I will shower her with love. Lying on the floor, something clicks for Samuel. She smirks. So use me the best you can. She turns and walks away, leaving him stunned. She heads straight to Ati's room. The little girl is dressed like a perfect doll. But beneath the frills, her eyes are full of worry. Our heroine kneels down, taking Ati's small hand. Don't worry, she says softly. She explains everything about the meeting. Then she adds, her voice full of regret. I can't come with you, but I'll be waiting right here for you to come back. She gives Ati's hand a reassuring squeeze. The carriage leaves, taking Ati and the Marquis away. Samuel stands with the maids, a stressed-out smile on his face. Our heroine watches them go, feeling a familiar pang. I'm not needed in this house. But then, a new thought sparks in her mind. No, I am the only one who can protect that girl. She tightens a leather strap around her arm. In a flash, her dress is gone. She's in a man's suit, cross-dressing complete. Okay, let's go. The world goes silent. A shadow falls over the two children. The heavy lantern plummets from the ceiling. Our hero screams, his voice raw with panic. A furious man grabs his arm, stopping him cold. Let go, there's no time. But how do we get to this terrifying moment? Let's go back. Just a little while ago, Achi attends a premarital meeting. She's there to meet her fiancé, Eric. Our hero watches from the shadows, disguised. He's here on a secret mission. To protect Ati. He knows her story, her dark future. He thinks about what turns her into a villainess. He has to stop it before it can ever start. He must be careful. Watch for any clue. And then, a memory hits him like a punch. A flash from the game he played so many times. Ati's smiling face turns sinister and dark. Why are you so scared? She asks him. He gasps. He suddenly remembers. The scar. In the game, Ati gets a huge, terrible scar, a burn mark on her back, caused by Eric. It's why he couldn't break the engagement later. A cold dread washes over him. What if she gets that scar today? The thought makes his stomach turn. He sees a vision of Ati falling. The sound of something shattering echoes. His face goes pale. ATI is in danger. He curses himself for not paying closer attention. He played the game 100 times. If only I'd listened to her story. There's no time to waste. He takes off running. He sprints toward the massive Andrew mansion. His one thought, I will definitely protect you. He reaches the sprawling estate grounds. He vaults over the tall iron fence. He dashes through the dense forest path. His feet rustle loudly through the dead leaves. He needs to find Ati. Now, he spots an open door and slips inside. The house is massive. A giant, confusing maze. At this rate, I'll never find her, he thinks. He walks down a long, empty hall. He turns a corner and bumps right into two maids. They all yelp out in surprise. He quickly bows, apologizing over and over. But one of the maids looks at him suspiciously. Who are you? She asks. This is the servants' floor. He freezes on the spot. He's been caught. Suddenly, a stern man appears. The head butler. He scolds the maids for an open window. Do you people know what day it is? He shouts. It's Lord Eric's premarital meeting. A disaster could happen. The maids tremble in absolute fear. Our hero sees his chance to escape. He politely asks where Lady Ati is. One of the maids says they just left the lounge. He smiles, a little too smoothly. Oh, and your windows are beautifully cleaned. The maids blush, flattered by the odd compliment. He turns to leave, but he's going the wrong way. A calm voice stops him. The inner garden is not that way. It's a young boy with dark hair, dressed like an aide. The boy introduces himself as Elias, in charge of Eric. Our hero's heart pounds. Elias? From the game? The boy offers to show him the way. As they walk, our hero feels a sudden, sharp chill. It's a strange, unsettling feeling down his spine. The boy, Elias, just smiles at him politely. But something about him feels deeply wrong. He shakes it off. Forget it. I have to find Ati. He gets directions and rushes off once more. He runs down the stairs, heart pounding in his chest. He looks out a window and finally sees them. He found them. Ati and Eric are sitting on the grass playing together. They're just laughing, acting like normal kids. He breathes a huge sigh of relief. He made it. But then, an image flashes through his mind. A horrific vision from the game's story. Ati's back, covered in hideous, deep burn scars. Her voice, full of hate, echoes in his head. Everything is Lord Eric's fault. The danger isn't over. It's just beginning. Bam! A huge crash echoes from above them. He looks up. The giant lantern is tipping over. He screams, "Ati! Be careful!" and lunges forward. The night is shattered by a single shout. Run away! A lantern falls to the ground. Little Ati screams a name in terror. Suddenly, someone is struck from behind. A hard smack to the head. The man crumples to the ground. From the shadows, a figure in a dark cloak appears. They leap from the rooftop. The crowd gasps. The maids scream in shock. He hits the ground, tucks, and rolls. A perfect landing. Then he's off, dashing through the courtyard. Someone yells, "Someone grab that guy!" The kids, Eric and Ati, watch with wide eyes. Eric's sister screams a warning. Don't let him get close to Lord Eric. But up above, a hand drops another lantern. It's filled with oil. The cloaked man shouts, "I won't let you!" He flings a small object through the air. It's a pocket watch. Someone screams, "You idiot!" The watch smacks the lantern with a loud clang. A massive explosion of fire roars through the courtyard. The blast throws people back, but the cloaked man stands his ground. He throws his cape over the two children. He holds them tight as the flames rush past. The fire dies down. He asks if they're okay. "Are you hurt? Do you feel any pain?" The kids just shake, stunned. He pulls them into a relieved hug. He's just glad they're safe, but then he sees it. The ends of Ati's beautiful hair are burnt away. His eyes fill with sadness for her. But Eric's eyes fill with rage. He glares into the darkness. I will never forgive them. He promises to make them suffer. Just then, a tiny hand pats his cheek. It's Ati. She looks up at him and asks, "Mother?" The cloaked hero freezes. Eric's jaw drops. "Who are you?" The hero's mind races. Should she run? The crowd is closing in. Everyone is staring. Then, the Duke himself arrives. This is bad. This is very, very bad. One wrong word, and she'll be the villain. But she straightens her back. I have done nothing to be ashamed of. She declares she's just the son of a noble. Passing by, a man in the crowd points a finger. He yells, "Who are you to be talking?" The cloaked figure just smiles. She throws her cape back and shouts, "My name is Sergios." And with a final farewell, she's gone. She dashes into the night. The guards give chase, but it's too late. As she runs, a pocket watch falls from her clothes. Riding hard, Celine escapes into the forest. She used her brother's name on instinct. She's just glad it worked. But her heart sinks. The pocket watch, her brother's keepsake. She threw it at the lantern. It's gone. She regrets losing it so much. But a watch can be replaced. Ati's life cannot. She whispers a thank you to her brother and rides for home. She arrives just in time, changing out of her disguise. Ati runs into her arms, calling for her mother. Celine squeezes her tight. Thank goodness, she made it. Later that night, Celine tells Ati a story. Ati says the hero Sergios was so cool. Celine smiles, hiding her secret. Then, a knock on the door. A man walks in. It's the Marquis. But his beard is gone. After a very awkward goodnight kiss for a crying Ati, he leaves her room. Ati is finally asleep. The Marquis turns to Celine, his face dead serious. Can we talk for a moment? He asks her what happened at the Duke's party. Celine looks him right in the eye and asks a question of her own. Does the name Sergios sound familiar to you? The Marquis's eyes go wide. He's completely thrown off balance. But Celine just smiles sweetly. She tells him Sergios is her brother's name. The Marquis is silent, watching her closely. He asks where she was during the day. Celine lies, saying she was in her room. She knows he's probing her for information. She still can't trust him. Not yet. She remembers the broken picture frame in her room. He could have been involved in the original incident. She decides to keep her identity a secret, only when she's sure he'd never harm Ati. The Marquis just tells her to go rest. He walks away down the long, empty hall. The moment he's gone, Celine's calm shatters. Bang! She slams her hand into the wall. A nearby maid jumps, totally startled. Celine clenches her fist, blood dripping onto the floor. She thinks men just see women as dumb dolls. We are not dumb dolls, she seethes. Later, she peeks into Ati's room. Ati is half asleep, mumbling about her father. She asks Celine if she likes beards. Celine thinks it's a funny question. Then Ati flips it right back on her. Then, do you like father? Celine freezes. Her heart starts pounding. She's never ever thought about it. It was a political marriage. He's just Ati's father. She's so flustered, her face turns bright red. But for Ati's sake, she decides to tell a lie. Yes, she says, I like him. Ati squeals with pure joy, hugging her tight. The next day, things take a bad turn. Ati is in bed, burning with a high fever. Celine is filled with guilt. I'm a failure, she thinks. Just then, the head nanny, Maggie, walks in. Maggie tells Celine to leave Ati's side. She insists she will take care of Ati now. Celine has no choice but to agree. She looks back, determined to win Maggie over to her side. The head nanny, Maggie, leans over a sleeping child. Her face is filled with worry. Little Ati stirs softly in her bed. Maggie sits by the bedside, lost in thought. Suddenly, a knock at the door. A maid stands outside a grand closed door. She tells Maggie, this is Celine. Maggie says she needs to talk to her for a bit. A voice from inside replies, there's nothing to talk about. Silence fills the hall. But Maggie isn't giving up. She starts knocking again, louder this time. Another maid runs over. Please stop that! She whispers, don't you know Lady Adi's sleeping? Maggie just stands there, defeated. She says, I just want to talk. For Ati's sake. Later, she finds Celine in the garden. Maggie takes a deep breath. First of all, let me apologize. Celine looks down. She bows her head low. I'm sorry for being too pushy. Maggie's eyes go wide. Please raise your head. She says, the madam should not bow to a servant. But Celine insists, let's talk without caring about our positions. As two people raising Ati, Maggie's face hardens. That's impossible. She reminds Celine of the strict rules of the house. I have control over the head nanny personnel. Celine promises her job is safe. She says Maggie has more trust here than she does. Maggie just gives a sad smile. She says no one in the mansion listens to her. The air grows heavy with tension. Maggie looks Celine right in the eye. I hate you. Celine doesn't flinch. A small smile plays on her lips. I figured. She says she's been waiting to hear her true feelings. Maggie continues, her voice shaking with anger. Seeing you wear a mask makes me sick. She accuses Celine of acting like a mother right away, of dragging the quiet, gentle Ati all over the place, until the little girl fell sick from exhaustion. How selfish can you be? She screams. Celine bows her head again. I'm truly sorry. Her hand clenches into a tight fist. Her jaw is set, her eyes full of pain. But Maggie isn't finished. Can you please stop butting in? I'm the one who knows more about Lady Ati than you. Our voice drops, cold and sharp. After all, once you have your own child, you will abandon Lady Ati. Tears well up in Maggie's eyes. Don't betray Milady by giving her false hopes. Celine just watches her, her expression unreadable. She finally understands. A thought crosses her mind. She really cares about Ati. She thinks about the pressure on Maggie, how everyone expects the new wife to have a son, how that must be torturing her inside. Celine is amazed. And she never showed it until now. Her own sadness surfaces. She thinks, I probably won't have any children. If I can't, then I am useless. That's why she doesn't want Ati to get too attached. Her gaze softens. Her true goal is simple. I just want her to become a respectable, independent person. She wants Ati to find what she likes, to feel safe when she's alone. I only did those things because no one else was doing them. Maggie scoffs. We've been doing exactly that. Celine's eyes flash with fury. She slams her fist against a stone pillar. Crack! The stone shatters. No, you didn't, she roars. Maggie flinches back, stunned. Celine stares at her bleeding hand. A dull pain shoots up her arm. What you all have done is ignore Adi's wishes. Because it was more convenient for you, our voice echoes in the garden. Who's the selfish one here? Her anger fades, replaced by pure determination. I want to help her take the first step, for her own sake. She clenches her fists, looking right at Maggie. I will do anything for Ati. She pauses, their eyes locking. Just like you, Maggie's eyes widen. She's completely speechless. A little girl, Ati, is screaming her lungs out. Celine remembers this, her eyes burning with rage. She swears she will tear them all to pieces. She trains with her sword, her focus like a razor. Her number one suspect is one man, Samuel. She recalls from the game that he's a master manipulator, but she smirks. They always underestimate her. She's not just some weak, remarried lady, and she will fight anyone who threatens Ati. A voice cuts in. What will you do about it? It's Samuel, standing right behind her. A knife flies from her hand. It slams into a tree, inches from his head. He screams, calling her a dangerous walking weapon. She warns him never to sneak up on her again. He mutters she's a woman with no cuteness at all. She snaps back, telling him to act better then. He sighs, saying he was a fool to try and consult her. Her ears perk up. Consult me about what? Samuel's expression gets serious. He reveals a horrifying truth. Someone tried to burn Ati alive. Celine's face goes pale. Are you the culprit? He says no. The attacker is still out there. And there's another mystery. A man who saved her. A man who called himself Sergios. Celine freezes solid on the spot. That's the name of her dead brother. Samuel looks her dead in the eye. That's your brother's name, isn't it? He knows. He figured out she was Sergios. Her mind races. Is he here to blackmail her? But Samuel isn't threatening her at all. He thinks the culprit is using the name to frame her. He admits he can't investigate this alone. He asks her to help him protect Ati. Celine is stunned. This tsundere is asking for help? She agrees, but with one condition. My name is Celine. Use it. He just grumbles and walks away. That night, Celine lies awake, her thoughts racing. Suddenly, her bedroom door clicks open. A dark shadow looms in the doorway.